our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, the Cavaliers may have lifted the local championship drought, but there's another team who'd like a little of that success, and that's the Browns as we come to you from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they, too, were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Third, it'll be second down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
On second down, Flacco to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive. Pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game, getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
And now here come the Ravens. They start on the ground with Wentz. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Time running out here on the play clock. It's intercepted. Picked off. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Joe Hayden, with it. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Now the third-year man from Alabama State, Isaiah Crowell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, we just saw him run the football really effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game. And any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Terrell Suggs, in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Griffin gives to Corral on the draw. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
3rd and long. It's Griffin. Finding time. And the pressure getting to RG3. He's brought down for the sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
35 yards that time on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Flacco going to give to his fullback, Juszczyk. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Now how about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offensive coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now West. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On the ground, it's West again. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd. So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on 3rd down. 3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Catch left side here by Aiken. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. Flacco now on 4th. And he finds his man, Kamar Aiken. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, the field goal attempt was confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rub their nose in it. They'll run it with West. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move them out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Now Flacco. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And this seemingly endless drive continues. Here's West. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Terrence West, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback, and as we saw in week 1, the new rule, this one coming out to the 25-yard line. All right, this is a guy that needs no introduction to the league. He has been around quite a while.
And it's good that they have him, because when he... looks around his huddle, he may not have guys with the same experience he has. Maybe some of the youngsters, and his veteran leadership should help them along the way.
On 1st down, Griffin. He's got, now look out, Griffin hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Players spotlight time now, Robert Griffin III. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. They'll throw on 1st down with Griffin. This is complete to Hawkins. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
2nd down now after the pass completion. A fake to Crowell. Now it's Griffin surveying the field. He's going to let this one go deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. And trying to give a lift to this offense today will be the Duke, the former Cane, Duke Johnson.
Comes from a great tradition of runners at Miami of Florida. He's one of the best ones we've seen in recent years.
They'll try to run for it with Crowell. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll come out in the pistol. They keep it with Crowell on first. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
On first down. And Griffin gives to Crowell. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
And that's why you see so many teams play a 3-4 defense, because that set gives you a lot of flexibility about where to bring pressure from, and it's hard for an offense to pick it up. Left side, right side, up the middle, especially with some really flexible linebackers.
Now they'll throw it with Griffin. He's got time. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. First down carry now for Crowell. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Again, it's Crowell. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. 1 quarter in the books. 14-7 is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. On second down, Griffin gets it to Gordon. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on third. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On third down, Griffin. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And that'll bring up fourth down on a big sack with a loss of 5. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And now the Browns defensive unit trots back out. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves when teams get down. A lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky. Preach. They'll run again here with West. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out here in the eye. First man through, it's the fullback use check. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Second down, 9 yards to go. This is West. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Setting up the screen for West. The first down screen pass, good for 5. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, He can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
They'll run for it with West. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yard against Hall.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created a push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on fourth down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
Still first down.
From the shotgun, Griffin, and his throw is incomplete. The tight end, Gary Barnidge, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Play fake to Johnson. Now here's Griffin. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And a big 32-yard play on third. They practiced this all week. Pretty clear it paid off there. Threw it downfield, made it look relatively easy.
And it always comes a little bit easier when you've practiced it and tuned things up and you're confident in what you're doing now. They felt very, very good about their plan, and we saw the execution because the confidence of the players was there.
It'll go as a gain of 12, and it'll give the Browns a first down.
It's a nice catch there by Gary Barnidge, and there's no getting around it. The emergence of him has been nothing short of stunning, hasn't it?
Yeah, first 6 years, total 44 catches. Then at age 30 last year, he goes for 79.
Who says you don't get better with age?
Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. That brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. And it's second down. Griffin going to give to Crowell. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Isaiah Crowell, his second touchdown on the season. And once again, the Browns are back in front.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned him 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first half highlights and analysis.
LR, plenty to show in this one.
Going to be a busy man at intermission. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run for it. This is Allen. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
I tell you, on 4th and 1, when you're way back on your side of the field, I thought this might just be an attempt to draw them off and get the first down that way. But they were going for it the whole time, and they wind up getting it.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Give him 2 yards on that play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put in.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And they're going to speed things up here. Flacco gives to Allen. And down to the 36-yard line here. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So this brings up a 2nd and 2. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And they give this time to the tailback.
Can anyone get him?
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Terrence West with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Ravens have once again taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll throw on first down with Griffin. It's caught. It's Barnage over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A fake to Crowell. Now it's Griffin. And the connection made to Terrell Pryor. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got his target. It's Coleman for the Browns touchdown. With his first career NFL touchdown. And the Browns have retaken the lead.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. If you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
To return, here's Michael Campanaro. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. The drive begins with a handoff to West. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime. And Larry apparently very brief in his report. Thanks anyway, my man, as we're already set for action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here's the Ravens defense as they head back out there now. They're losing here as we begin the third quarter, trying to stop this from being a bigger deficit.
And I used to play for a coach who always talked about getting the other team's attention. And in this case, they want to let them know that you're going to do the dictating from here on out, not the other way around.
Trying to impose their will as we start the third. They come out here in the eye. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Timmy Jernigan in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
On second down, Griffin. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
It's a gain of 14 there, and the Browns are going to have a first down.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. They want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. C.J. Mosley in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On second down, here's Crowell. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Play action. Now Griffin. Looking deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
3 yards to go on second down. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On the toss, here's Allen. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Obviously, the offense thought they had something going, but trying to go wide on a short yardage play. But how about the defense, expecting something in the middle and still able to adjust and sprint to the edge and make the play?
Rolling the dice on 4th, Flacco. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Well, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on 1st down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on 1st down. But it was stopped on that play. We had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd down.
Could be a blitzer.
On 3rd down, Griffin. Looking for someone to throw to. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly. Sure where they're going to end up.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed him down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. 3rd down, Flacco from the gun. And he fires one, but incomplete. Percy Harvin, the intended receiver there, and that brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
All on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now Griffin on second down. It's caught. It's Barnage over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
So it is third down now, but less than a yard to go. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On third down, Crowell. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They come out here in the eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of down.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows his offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for the Ravens. 59 yards.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Now Flacco. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
They come out here in the eye. The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's 1st and goal. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Ball spotted at the 4. It's 2nd and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll run. This is Allen. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Buck Allen, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from taking the lead. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. And how about that, giving us our 5th lead change of the game? It's been back and forth.
No doubt about it. And right now, they're ahead, but they can't relax at all because if we've had 5 lead changes, I'm kind of betting on a 6th.
Yeah, we might see a 6th. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Now Griffin on 1st down. Caught left side. It's Barnage.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty.
And you notice how the offensive line responded. A couple went to check on the quarterback, and a couple went to the guy who hit the quarterback. No one likes to see their quarterback hit.
1st down and goal to go from the 7. After the penalty, it's Crowell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And they give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
They come out here in the eye. 2nd and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Isaiah Crowell, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come to the big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now a toss play. Allen. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Well, if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 5, maybe you think about the field goal there, but on 4th and 1, this is a way to tell your offense, hey, I believe in you. You can do this. And sure enough, they're going to pick up the first down.
They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Fourth quarter, 2-minute warning about to hit, and it looks like they're going to get 1 more play in.
It'll be interesting to see what they try and do on this play. Do they try and take a shot, or do they just try and get to the 2-minute warning?
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. 2nd and goal. It's still a decent chunk of yardage here. They're on the 8. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Browns are going to win the football game. So a tough pill to swallow there. Would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
They begin with a run by Crowell. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Now, defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. They'll run it again with Crowell. And Crowell lost the football. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room at no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, it less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. They come out here in the eye. The handoff, running left, Crowell. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. So now 11 yards to go. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Here's a give to Crowell. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your...
Your crack at dawn, Monday morning coffee, strong pouring everything you got into a paycheck Friday night. Your power stroke, diesel backhoe riding king, 18-wheeler driving, living life in between the lines of clocking in and quitting time. But then the 6-string circus comes to town. We hang them speakers over the crowd. When the lights come